drug maker Sun Pharma's Q4 earnings came in largely in line with street estimates. The company reported a net profit of nearly 2,000 crores. The revenue saw 15% rise, while margins also expanded. The stock is under pressure perhaps because the company stated that they would be looking at a single-digit growth in FY24. Ekta spoke with CS Muralidharan, the group CFO of Sun Pharma, on their Q4 performance. Let's listen in to what they had to say.
At this point of time, we have given our offer to the Taro board, and it's a process that will be followed. And we also said that post-successful complete transaction, one of the things could be that we could delist the entity from the NYSE stock exchange.
Okay. What is the likely outflow of money? It is estimated to be around $300 million for Sun if in case it goes through. Is that a correct estimation?
Yes, around $300 million is the estimated outgo cash flow post-successful completion of the transaction.
Okay. Can you detail the cash on books on Taro's books? Also, any utilization plans in case the delisting does go through?
So currently, I think as per their public results, that the cash balance is approximately $1.2 billion in their books.
Correct. But what would the possible utilization plans be? Anything that the Sun management has thought of?
So at this point of time, it will be difficult to comment when a transaction is processed with a listed entity in US. It will be difficult to comment on the utilization of that cash.
Okay. What is a triangular merger? What are the approvals needed? And by when can we expect any kind of movement on this?
So reverse triangular merger means Sun will have a wholly owned subsidiary in Israel. This is being done under the laws of Israel. Post completion of a successful transaction, this special purpose vehicles wholly owned subsidiary of Sun will merge with the Taro entity in Israel. And since just we have started the process last Friday, it will be too early to comment on the overall timelines, being a public company. However, all the internal approvals will require is the Sun board finally, of course, the board of Taro, and then there will be an offer period for the shareholders as per the local regulations, and then receipt of all regulatory approvals, including any relevant antitrust authorities' approval if required.
Okay. All right. The global specialty sales, that continues to be strong. FY23, it was up 29% to $870 million plus. And it was led by Illumia, which was up 51%. What is the guidance for FY24 for Illumia as well as for specialty sales as a whole?
So specialty revenues, you're right, clocked about $871 million, around 29% growth, contributing 16.2% of consolidated revenues in the current fiscal, as against 7.3% in FY18, which is more than doubled in the past 4 to 5 years. Illumia, the flagship brand, you were right, clocked $477 million. Considering the growth rates you have seen in the past 4 or 5 years for Illumia and other flagship brands, we are confident that our specialty business is poised to grow in the future. Our focus still remains to retain the momentum in the growth of specialty products.
Can we expect $1 billion in terms of sales in FY24?
We are not giving any guidance for specialty, but I just want to say that last year we did, if I remember, $674 million. From there, we are going to 871, almost 200 million up, and the rest is max can be done.
Okay, the US markets, you know, the base business, I'm talking about the generic space, that was supported by Revlimid generic. But can you tell us what the base business did perform like this quarter? Was there US price pressure? What can you guide us on when it comes to price pressure?
So as for the US price pressure in the market in base generics business, the price erosion continues to remain, but we have maintained that it's always product specific, and the market continues to remain competitive for all the players. As far as the base business is concerned, base business has done well. While we are not giving any specific guidance for lenalidomide or Revlimid, but I would state that we are happy with the overall performance of our base business. Okay.
Your guidance for FY24 is high single-digit top-line growth for FY24. You have Revlimid in your portfolio, plus you're quite bullish in terms of the specialty sales. So why is it only high single-digit growth? Is there any upside potential to this guidance?
So we have guided high single-digit consolidated top-line growth for FY24. This is based on the assumption that all our business are positioned well for the growth. The ramp-up in global specialty business is part of this guidance. However, the overall revenue guidance incorporates several plausible scenarios. And that's the reason why we have guided for a high single-digit growth.
Okay, your alopecia drug, I'm not going to pronounce the name because it's too complicated, but it's seen some delays due to the adverse event in the trial undertaken in the US. Your 12 mg version has now been kept on partial hold. There is a possibility that you could be looking at other indications also for it. Can you tell us what the investment has been and what is the likelihood of a positive scenario there?
So our overall investment, which is I think public filing, is about $576 million for acquiring Concert Pharmaceuticals INC, excluding the CVRs. Currently, we are assessing several scenarios after receiving the agency letter on 12 mg clinical hold, which could include filing either only 8 mg or filing both the strengths together. All scenarios are being evaluated at this point of time. And once we have conversation with the agency, probably we'll be able to give more information on this.
Okay. The company is also guiding for higher R&D spend. Can you tell us in that context, what would the margin range be going into FY24? Would it still be between this 24 to 26% range?
So yes, we have guided for R&D spend of 7 to 8% for the FY24, which also includes the Concert R&D related expenses included in that. As far as EBITDA margins concerned, we have seen in some of the quarters our overall FY24 expense have inched up as operations normalized. But we have also focused on the other hand to bring in efficiency and look at opportunities to contain cost. As a result, we have been able to maintain and at least sustain our EBITDA margin range of 25-26% plus at this point of time. And we believe that yes, we have guided for higher R&D spend, but at the same time, based on the past performance by us and looking at the future trend, we should be in a position probably to maintain and sustain these margins. However, as I said in the past also, EBITDA margins are quite important for us, but at the same time, R&D investment is for future pipeline, so we will not shy away from investing in R&D.
Okay. In the call, it was mentioned that the Mohali plant has received an establishment inspection report and there would be batch-by-batch production and approval from the facility. So does that mean that the regulatory issues are behind us in the Mohali plant?
So I would say that as far as the Mohali site is concerned, yes, you are right, there will be a batch-wise release. The supplies will commence in a gradual and phased manner for Mohali. We are working with the agency to address the agency's letters given to us in respect of the site, but the commencement of supplies will happen shortly in a phased manner.
So what is the status of the plant? Is it an OAI, VAI, NAI?
No. See, it was always under consent degree. So it's always under consent degree. So currently, the agency has given certain observations. We are working with them, and the supplies will continue. See, it's a different situation compared to any other site.
Sure.
That's the only thing.
Okay. And what about the import alert at Halol? Do you think that FY24 could be the year that you could clear it?
We are working very focused manner as far as the Halol site is concerned, addressing all the concerns, if any, raised by the agency. And at this point of time, Ekta, you know that it's very difficult to give any timeline when a site is an import alert. But our endeavor and best efforts are into come out of import alert at the earliest. But we all must recognize that we are working with US FDA, so it will take some time. But we are putting all efforts in the right direction.
All right, all efforts in the right direction for US FDA clearances for their Halol plant and all the other parts of their business as well, as a result of which the stock has recovered a tad from the low. That's Sun Pharma. With that, we will slip into a short break, come back. We talk about all the other stocks which are buzzing around. M&M will be the stock in our value add segment. Stay tuned.